midfield are the Ponies. That's Joe Hoheisel, who's gonna have the touchdown. Trying to find their way onto the board here, and they do just that.
Finds St. Martin all alone. Oh, and she's gonna bury that one, ladies and gentlemen.
Ethan Devin rolls it into the net, and a big ball by Ramsey Oro-Okondo here as we enter the 5th minute.
And a steal by Hilby, and he'll go up and lay it in.
Relief when you don't see goal in the back of the net. Here's a chance right in front of the net. They score.
Quick pass forward, and right there to finish off the attack, Aiden Anderson.
That's the thing is when you bring those 3 guys up to trap, someone's going to be open down low.
Oh, and there's a good goal. I believe that's number 2.
That is Austin Williams.
Austin Williams.
Football back here in Stillwater as tonight the Ponies welcome in the Royals in Week 2 of the 2024 Minnesota High School football season. The Ponies looking to get into the win column. Meanwhile, the Royals coming in already with a victory to their season, and they have themselves the 1 win on the year so far. Stillwater, a loss on the road last week in some tough conditions to a good Lakeville North team, but Don, the expectations always high for this Ponies team.
Yeah, first week you're up against the number 4 country and the number 4 ranks team in the state, and it's a measuring stick. Now you got to rebound from that and build on it today.
Great to have you with us here tonight in Stillwater. Hans Bristol, Don Ackerman, very excited to be back with you. And everything for Stillwater, Don, really revolves around quarterback Nick Kinsey. Losing some of those weapons from last year, they're looking for a big performance out of him tonight.
Yeah, he's the guy I want to watch. I want to see him progress throughout the year. He was 33%, 6 for 18 last week, and the weather conditions were a factor there. Let's see what happens on a beautiful night where the weather probably couldn't be any better.
He's had some big-name schools already keeping an eye on him. Meanwhile, on the other side, you've got a Woodbury team. They were able to grind out a low-scoring win against Roseville last week. Got to be plenty of confidence to them, too, coming to Pony Stadium tonight.
Yeah, a tale of 2 halves, right? Down 10-0 at half against a Roseville team that's, I see the word rebounding in their name. And they shut them out in the second half with 2 touchdowns in the second half. And so they want to build on that against the Stillwater team that's ranked 17 in Minnesota.
Rosario Matias right there. He's going to be an engine to that Pony defense as we get right underway here from Pony Stadium with Woodbury taking this opening first half kickoff, and a nice return up through midfield, down the far sideline, and finally shoved out of bounds just around the 35. Ebensteiner on the big return, and a boost of momentum for the Royals to start.
Very methodical, like he was very patient in waiting for. Stayed in his lane and just drove up the field, broke some tackles once he got around the corner and aside, and man, not what Stillwater wants to see, but exactly what Woodbury wants to. One of the coaches had both his arms up in the air, was just super excited once he saw that seam was open and it was going to be successful.
The senior Dominic Ebersteiner with the opening return, and the Royals come out with this new drive starting from already inside of Pony territory, and on first down, Snuggerud with the toss. That went behind the tailback, and it was a loose ball, and we've got all sorts of commotion going on here to start, and is unable to jump on top of that one, Sean Rakowski.
A backwards lateral, so that's a live ball. And really nice result for Stillwater, who really did blow that play up. Number 11 doing a great job putting the pressure on.
That's Jack Milgren coming off the edge, putting some pressure on Emmett Snuggerud, who's the quarterback tonight for the Royals, the junior. 148 yards through the air in that win over Roseville last week, and nothing around the outside, stopped right away by Henry Zoller, the senior, coming in for the stop in a 3rd and long.
Yeah, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9.
This opening Woodbury drive off of the kickoff return, a thriller between these two teams last year. And we've got a little fun fact coming up on that one as well, but the Ponies did knock off the Royals in 2 schools, 2 communities that know each other well, and a big matchup here tonight in just week 2 on a beautiful night here in Stillwater. And a 3rd and long now here facing this Royals offense.
Yeah, a little red, white, and blue tonight, right? Red versus blue, and they're all wearing white.
Those sharp uniforms on both sides. Royals trying to come up with a long 3rd down conversion as Snuggerud fires left, caught by Freymiller, and he is brought down. Nothing beyond upfield for the Ponies defense, who get the quick stop with Joe Fredkove there. And so they're looking at around a 4th and 7 now on their opening drive. Started with that big kickoff return, and got to give some credit to Stillwater's defense. Royals haven't been able to do it that much. Doesn't look like a field goal unit coming out here.
No, it doesn't. And initially, I thought they got the first down because I was looking. You just forget that they lost so many yards on that pitch back. Just got basically to the line of scrimmage where they all started, and a big 4th down here.
So a 4th down here for Emmett Snuggerud, the junior quarterback, in here for the Royals. Sends one in motion before a 4th down play, and it's going to be Andy Hill, the Woodbury head coach, who takes a timeout here before they have a further think about with this 4th and 7 with 9:32 left in our first quarter. So they get the big return, but Stillwater's defense, they had the little mistake there on offense. Ponies able to settle in, get some stops, but now have to think about this 4th and 7.
Yeah, really nice 2nd down stop for them to not allow them to get yards back. Nice gain on 3rd by Woodbury, but still plenty to go on this 4th down. Timeout, maybe it's because they wanted to get a good look at the defense, but interesting because you didn't see any hesitation on leaving those guys in there. So the timeout, a little surprising for me, but let's see what they do about it. Obviously, they think this is an important play.
There's going to be 2 quarterbacks in some good weather who are going to be looking to throw the football tonight, and that's exactly what Woodbury's going to have to look and do here on 4th and 7 on the Stillwater 30. There's 2 wide of Snuggerud on 4th down, lifts it into the air. It is caught down to the 21. What a catch by Ebersteiner. It's out to a great start in this game and a 4th down conversion for the Royals.
Yeah, nice throw just behind so that the defense can't get to it. Actually, great defensive positioning, but a better throw and catch and good conversion by Woodbury.
Boy, there wasn't a lot of space there between Ebersteiner and that Stillwater defender. That's DK Gora, the senior, who was all over that Woodbury receiver. But it's a catch for Ebersteiner at a 35-yard touchdown catch last week. He's got a big 4th down conversion. The Royals offense keeping this drive alive on 1st and 10. This is a handoff. This is Mark Mathis around the outside, hit hard across the 15. And Mathis, just a sophomore, starting in that backfield for this Royals team, but he's got a really great frame, and an early look at their run game is going to lead to about a 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, chugging along, a little mix of pass and run here. Stillwater really wants to buckle down here on 2nd and short.
Started this drive from Stillwater's 33. Think about that 3rd and long they had. That was in the 20s range. They take that timeout before that 4th down, and they're able to find themselves a 1st down. Now here just facing a 2nd and 2 with 2 in the backfield again, and it's Mark Mathis again who cuts inside, finds a block upfield. He's hit hard down to the 4. DK Gora again on that tackle, but it's a 1st and goal for Woodbury.
Gora with the tackle.
Mark Mathis picking up the yards, just using his strength, get inside of the 5. Mathis, the sophomore, is his Woodbury team too. We talked about some of the weapons that Stillwater had lost from a season ago. A younger Woodbury offense that so far in this drive they got from that good kick return have a big opportunity for a statement here to start on the road.
Yeah, I think you really want to take that opening kickoff and make it count. So to be able to recover from that 4th and long is momentous.
Going to have a 1st and goal here all the way down to the 3. And it's a handoff again to Mathis, who this time tries to bounce outside, and a duo of Ponies right there. Jack Melgren, the senior, first on the stop, and a loss on that run.
Yeah, first loss there, and after 2 really nice runs, Stillwater kind of gets a little fortitude there and puts it to second. They're still within range though, so they've got a couple more plays to try to hold them.
It was a 10-0 game at halftime last week between the Raiders and the Royals. Woodbury got that offense going with an early strike in the third quarter. They're trying to find an early strike here on the road at Stillwater in the first quarter with a 2nd and goal. Mathis takes the snap. He tosses it for a streaking Dominic Eberstein, trying to get on the end around, but there is nowhere beyond a big stop from the Ponies in the backfield, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and goal.
Riley Runk there. You'll probably hear his name again. Get used to it.
Boy, Runk was just read that jet sweep, that end around, like nobody else in that Stillwater defensive backfield could have. And it leads to a 3rd and goal now, but it's so different, Don, when you got a 3rd and goal from the 4 or the 3 rather than the 8-yard line, maybe looking to go to the air here.
Yeah, I was thinking we've had a couple run plays in a row. We're probably due for something through the air.
5:48 to go in this first quarter. One goes in motion here on 3rd and goal. It is Snuggerud looking over the middle. Snuggerud fires it in. It's incomplete and might have caught just a piece of Henry Zoller on the way through. And it's a 4th and goal. Looks like some special teams on for the Royals.
Yeah, I think number 24, Nolan Freymire, was the initial target. That's who I thought was being stared down by Snuggerud. But now you see that field goal unit out as Matthews runs off the field. And Woodbury sets up to pick up the 3.
So from the 8-yard line here, this is going to be a field goal try here early on for Woodbury. This is Caden Schlattman who takes the field goal attempt, and it is through the uprights. And Schlattman has a 25-yard field goal go through the uprights, and that gives Woodbury the early 3-0 lead here at Ponies Stadium, and going all the way back to the special teams, Don, setting up a scoring drive for the Royals.
Like to get 3 here. They didn't get any field goals last week, but maybe a little disappointing after recovering from that long setback and having that great run down the field.
So Schlattman with the 25-yard field goal then has the Royals in front here, and now we'll see the Ponies special teams for the first time. They're retreating back downfield to receive this Woodbury kick. Andy Hill being on the road, getting some points out of your opening offensive drives. Got to be plenty pleased with that one so far. And with 5:37 to go here in the first, home opener night here for the Ponies at Pony Stadium. Setting to kick this one away will be Caden Schlattman. Just knocked through that field goal through the upright. It's Owen Egg and Noran Natez who are back to receive this kick. It's Natez who jumps to the outside, but he didn't have anything beyond Nolan Freymiller. And for the first time here, Don, at Pony Stadium, we get a look at this Stillwater offense led by the junior Nick Kinsey, coming off a 2,268-yard season with 24 touchdowns. It shows the kind of arm that Kinsey has.
Yeah, and you know, Stillwater's famous for having all the weapons. They have a great student body, all kinds of talented individuals. Now we get to see how they perform on the football field, see how many of these wide receivers show up and how many of these players, tight ends, running backs, just all of it, how it clicks.
And Rosario Matias, Chase Enstrom lining up in that offense. Got 4 returning starters on this offensive line for the Ponies as well as this new drive starts from their opening 24. And it's Rosario Matias around the outside on the edge. Just about a 2-yard game to open up this Stillwater drive. So Rosario Matias getting this opening drive started here, just approaching our 5-minute mark of this first quarter. Jeffrey Akwuba, that's the left tackle, lost his helmet on that last play, so he's going to have to come off the field here for a play for the Ponies. 2nd and 8 now. One in motion behind of Kinsey. On 2nd down, Rosario Matias again, breaking away from some defenders and moves upfield for Stillwater across the 50 and just shoveled out of bounds by Harrison Briggle, but that's a big gain upfield for Rosario Matias, showing off what he can do for the Stillwater offense.
Yeah, breaking tackles and just having that burst of speed. He just has something that you don't see, just some kind of burst, some kind of energy. You can see him there just getting away from the Woodbury players, running through a ankle tackle there, and you can see him jumping afterwards. He wasn't done going.
About a 24-yard gain on that carry as Kinsey on play action. 1st and 10, uses his legs. He'll get shoved out of bounds just beyond the 45. Cooper Crane was right there on the stop for about a 4-yard gain. And that just gives this Stillwater offense so many different options with Kinsey's legs and Rosario Matias as well. A lot of different weapons defense has to watch.
Yeah, and Kinsey was looking down the field, so I think his initial play was covered, but to be able to pick up a couple more like that on the run just gives the defense a lot to think about.
Well, Kinsey stepped out of bounds closer to about the 47, so it's only about a 2-yard gain on 2nd down. Once again, Rosario Matias gets across the 40, just shy of the 35, down to the 36 for an 11-yard run for a 1st down for Stillwater.
Yeah, moving down the field, moving the chains, and didn't go out of bounds. They had to drag him down. He was ready to keep going forward.
Sophomore year, a 700-yard season for Rosario Matias last year. And we saw in how he's developed over the summer, almost has a stronger look to his run as he'll take a toss here on 1st and 10, looking for some blockers ahead. Doesn't have much in front of him with Luke Puglisi on that tackle for the Royals. 2nd down coming.
Yeah, we covered that game when he subbed in. Stillwater just didn't really have anything going, and then he popped in and just, you really saw a burst coming out of him, and that just continued throughout the season.
An 8-win season a year ago for Stillwater. 1 loss in the regular season here at Pony Stadium to Edina. We were here for that one, Don, in a low-scoring game. And then it was the Hornets who ultimately ended this Pony season just a year ago. And a toss got some movement, it looked like, on the offensive line.
Yep.
We'll hear from Jeff Strock, our official tonight. And the false start is the correct signal to back up the Ponies here.
Yeah, and I think they technically called an illegal procedure. I think there might have been 2 players moved at the same time.
It was a 21-49 loss in the 6A State High School football playoffs last year for Stillwater, a team that was able to knock them off in the regular season as well, but a really strong year. Had that senior core that you talk about. You think about the Hoheisels and those types of weapons this offense had. Bit of a new look, but what is steady is Nick Kinsey, number 8 under center, here for the Stillwater offense. After the false start, 2nd and long, Rosario Matias nowhere beyond. Luke Puglisi, the junior, just all over that run. Rosario Matias tried to bounce to the outside, but that's just great vision from a defensive back.
Yeah, Woodbury had it all stacked up. I kind of expected a fake handoff there just to kind of throw in the mix. I understand Stillwater wants to run it. They've got a great running back. I don't blame them. But I think if you don't mix it up, Woodbury might be able to target you better.
Maybe an opportunity here with a 3rd and long. We'll see with Kinsey going with 2 in the backfield. If Kinsey gets to show off his arm here, and will do so. On a play action, looks to his right. Quick bullet out wide, caught, and a broken tackle. Taken all the way down to just inside of the 10-yard line. A great move upfield. Owen Aggie, who picks up that 1st down for the Ponies.
Just a really nice, just sweet pass there, right? Just on a rope. Zinged it out there. You watch the replay here, just zoom right there. Turn and burn. Picks up the 1st down and then some.
A 27-yard gain on that 1st down. Kinsey to Aggie, and on 1st down, it is 1st and 10. They had it to the 11. Rosario Matias picks up a few. Will Hansen, the senior, on the stop there for Woodbury to bring up a 2nd down. And there was some pace behind that throw from Kinsey out wide to Aggie. Owen Aggie's going to be a really fun developing weapon for this Stillwater offense this season. Going to have to watch out for 15. Kinsey's already can see that link up those two have.
Probably a good idea. I mean, last week he found 5 different receivers out of his 6 passes. So Stillwater is normally known, I think, for spreading it out. They have lots of talent.
Minute 30 left here, first quarter, second down. Rosario Matias bounces to the outside and will waltz in for a Stillwater touchdown. Rosario Matias doing it all on this opening drive, and it's a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ponies grab the lead right back here at Pony Stadium.
And a really nice lead block by number 40, Sietschlag. He just cleared the way. Rosario Matias put his hand on his shoulder and just followed him in.
Extra point is going to be up and through the uprights. But Rosario Matias just had that one blocker in front of him done. That's all he needed. It was a great effort from that offensive line to lead to the score.
Yeah, really nice drive there by Stillwater to come back after giving up the 3 to Woodbury. So kind of a win there. Gave up a big return. Were able to hold them to a field goal, come down the field, get their first pass is a nice completion, and then they're able to establish that running game, which I think is key, right? Last week that was part of their major part of their offense, and it is a major part tonight.
Scoring drive that started from their own 24 and getting that early touchdown, getting this crowd into it, a great crowd on a beautiful night here tonight and at Pony Stadium. That's something for your momentum and something for just the juice in that Pony sideline right now.
Yeah, I think we've got the Aloha Party going on. We got the Yacht Club or whatever going on with the student section. They're having a party tonight, and the Ponies are contributing to that positive atmosphere.
I think our crew is already going to get some, continue to get some fun shots. The student section here tonight. So Rosario Matias, second touchdown run of the season. He had one last week against Lakeville North, gives the Ponies the lead. It's going to be a return right on the goal line here from Ebersteiner. He had that big return earlier. He is not going to have that this time, as the Ponies special teams jumping all over Ebersteiner to take away any big chance at a return.
Different look on that return, right? The first return was more of he prodded pretty much straight forward, stayed in a lane, and then found an opening. Here he goes along, kind of perpendicular, and Stillwater's able to keep up with him.
So it's a Woodbury drive starting from their own 12-yard line. They were able to put together that short drive from the big return that led to that field goal last time. But it's Emmett Snuggerud and company going under center here for the Royals to open up a new drive. It's a handoff right up the middle, and nothing beyond. Cash Sherrar is a senior right on that defensive front for the Ponies, and no gain for second down.
I mean, really playing into Stillwater's hands there with that first down. I think they expected it, and they shut it down.
There's Brandon Fortune, by the way, the junior, who had that carry for the Royals. Snuggerud with the 2 touchdowns in the second half. That's really when Woodbury's offense woke up last week. It was 27-7 loss for the Ponies on the road at Lakeville North. And the scoreline is a bit harsh. A couple of turnovers late, and that's going to be a key here for the Ponies tonight to eliminate those turnovers on their home turf. Final 30 seconds of our first quarter of action, and there's another stop in the backfield. This time it's Andrew Olson right at that nose tackle, all over Mark Mathis for the stop.
Yeah, and Woodbury had they 2 players running into each other there, so all Stillwater had to do was clean it up.
Andrew Olson's such a big frame, and we'll see if the Woodbury offense want to run another play before this first quarter comes to a close. It does not appear to be the case, and the Stillwater Ponies home opening night here at Pony Stadium. They'll take a 7-3 lead into our second quarter, as we'll step aside here for a short break. This is Pony Football on VAC-TV.
Think getting dumped by text is harsh. Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
It's going to make this a longer 3rd and long here for the Royals. Hans Bristol, Don Ackerman back with you here at Pony Stadium. This is a big spot. You talk about field position here for this Pony defense. Trying to find a stop here, Dong. And if you remember, on that last Woodbury drive, they picked up that 3rd and long, now backed up toward their own end zone.
Yeah, and probably a little frustrating to get that as the first play of the second quarter. You just had a timeout, and you get an illegal procedure to start the second quarter, and now you're at 3rd and longer.
Mario Matias with the touchdown run that's got the Ponies in front here to start this second quarter. And the Royals face a 3rd and long in his own end zone. Snuggerud in trouble, throws over the middle, and it looked like it got to his intended receiver, Freimiller, that time, but he couldn't hold on to it, and it's 4th down coming.
Yeah, when you can see it go off his shoulder, I think he gets pressure, steps up, puts it there, it goes off, it hits him, and then 2 Stillwater Ponies are there to ensure that he doesn't go anywhere.
Boy, that throw split those 2 Pony defenders and got to the senior Freimiller in a tough window that Snuggerud snuck that into. So Royals looking to punt here. They are backed up all the way in the end zone. These are always dangerous situations. Owen Heggie is one of 2 Ponies back here to receive this punt here from the Royals in a special team spot in this second quarter. Does get the punt away, and it's a good one. Takes a bounce at midfield. It's a long run backwards for Natez to pick this up, and he's going to be stopped before midfield. That is about as good of a punt from Caden Schlottman inside of your own end zone as you're going to get. And the Ponies start on their own half of the field, but still really good offensive opportunity here for Stillwater.
Yeah, their defense did their job and pinned Woodbury deep. So to get the ball right about the mid stripe at the 48-yard line, that's a really nice positive after holding Woodbury, and now they want to take that 7-3 lead and build on it.
So a new drive for this Pony offense that put together a 76-yard scoring drive the last time they had the ball. That led to that Rosario Matias touchdown run here for the Ponies. Great look at a very strong student section showing here tonight on a beautiful night here in Stillwater. 1st and 10 to open this new drive. It's Rosario Matias on the toss to the left side. Finds just a bit of a space and enough to shoot a gap down to the 45. Rosario Matias getting some help up front from his big offensive line as well. It's had a really solid start blocking to open this game as well.
Yeah, love watching him run because he's always moving his legs. He's always chugging. He's always moving. Very impressed by what we've seen so far in this first half already.
Left-hand side of the offensive line there for Stillwater. That left tackle, Jeffrey Okwuba and Dominic Slaughter, 2 guys returning as seniors. Such a pivotal part of an offense is to have that experience of the offensive line as Rosario Matias going back to work carries on both opening drives. It looks like he'll have enough down to the 41 for a 1st down for the Ponies. Just a 4-yard gain, and really utilizing Rosario Matias so far. And if you can do that offensively, that sets such a good pace for your offense, and Bo Labor's got to be pleased with that so far.
Yeah, one thing I like when I watch him run is he'll stiff arm. He also is someone who will move laterally, and he's someone who will run into you. So as a defender, you're not sure which of those you're going to get. Might get all 3.
Looking to set things up on a 1st and 10 as Kinsey looking downfield just out of the reach of his receiver, Owen Heggie. We talked about the connection, and he had a couple of Royals beats on that look downfield, but it falls incomplete.
I mean, from a coaching perspective, you can see the coaches are excited. The play they ran, went out to perfection. Just couldn't quite connect there, but that play was a touchdown if they can connect on it.
McKenzie looking after that 2,200-yard season a season ago. Had some really strong camp outings, some impressive perspective notes that have been written on him. Just couldn't quite connect with Eggy to open up this new drive after a first down as they go back to the ground. Rosario Matias trying to battle his way upfield. Harrison Briggle was first on that tackle for the Royals. Might have had some help from Devin Maxfield right at that defensive tackle as well. And a 3rd down and 8 here for the Ponies.
Yep, 2 on that play. You can just see him methodically working his way down the field. And a big 3rd down here.
The game it was between these two teams last year. It was a really fun back and forth contest, a 28-25 win for the Ponies over this Woodbury team. Having a close start and a fun one here to open this one tonight. 3rd down, Kinsey looks over the middle. That one, boy, it went through the fingertips of one receiver, and then it found a second receiver who wasn't able to haul it in. And right now, this Royals defense looking to force a 4th down.
Yeah, it looked like they ran a great play there, obviously, having 2 players. I'm not sure who it was designed for, but it looked like you had 2 options there.
Yeah, it was Chase Edstrom who was in the flat. Got his hands up on that ball. It was a really strong pace on that throw, and can look at that connection there from Kinsey. But that time it falls incomplete. Royals defense forcing a punting situation here as Landon Huber barely gets this one away. That one was almost blocked. It takes a bounce at the 26 and out of bounds at just about the 24, with Woodbury getting the ball back. So these two teams share some punts with 9:42 to go in this second quarter. Royals get the football back and have an opportunity here on the road to once again try and build some type of offensive drive, trailing here in the second.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if that punt was meant to go out of bounds to stop a return. It certainly was effective. Having the Woodbury start at the 21-yard line, 22-yard line, not a bad start.
9:42 to go. New drive for this Royals offense. Did not score any points in the first half of last week's game at home against Roseville. Open things up now on 1st and 10 with Snuggerud in trouble in the backfield and swarmed by a host of Ponies. That was nowhere beyond.
Fred Cove would not let go.
Yep.
He got a hold of him and did not let. He tried to get away. Snuggerud almost got away, but Fred Cove wasn't going to let that happen.
That's an experienced defensive unit that these Ponies are bringing back as well, with, of course, Bo Labor being head coach. It's Mike Labor, who's the defensive coordinator for this Stillwater team. He's got to be pleased with how his defense has responded in this one here so far. Rose stepping up to the line, 2nd down and 15 now. Snuggerud coming off that last sack in quarter number 2 here for this Ponies defense. And 2nd and long, it's going to be a handoff. Trying to find the edge again, but he is ripped down. That's another senior, John Karkula, all over Mark Mathis with another loss of yards and a 3rd down.
Boy, on that play, he looked like he was playing in the wrong league. He just threw him down, not with no malintent or anything, but just threw him down, didn't even try to power him down or anything. Just great play by Karkula.
And Karkula led this team in tackles with 85 last year. And again, it's just the vision here, Don. Jumps into that backfield, just rips him down to the turf.
Just smashed him.
Great stop there from Karkula. It's back-to-back plays now. This Ponies defense has been getting into that backfield of this Royals offense, who now face a 3rd and long. You're in a 4-point game in the second quarter. Is it Snuggerud who steps up, fires over the middle? It's caught. It's up to the 22, about the 23. Well shy of the first down marker needed, with Ethan Hauser, the tight end, bringing in that catch. but it's still going to be a 4th and 10 here for the Royals to deal with. There
Nice.
we are up in the booth. Great to see you on a
Beautiful night.
all here in
No
a
windows.
beautiful night. Got the windows all taken care of. We had Tim setting up our camera up here in the booth, and excited to be back here for Pony football. They might have caught some of my, you know me, Don. I'm a mover up here.
You are.
I'm a mover. Caught some of my back and forth pacing tendencies calling the game here. Interesting spot here. 4th down and 10. That Woodbury offense stays out there. We can see these offenses get tricky here in a 4th down situation. Royals well deep inside of their own territory. They might be having a play clock situation here, looking to run some time down in this second quarter. With the clock continuing to roll, they're going to do just that and take a timeout before they think about things further here with this 4th down.
Interesting tactic here. I don't know if I'd want to use one of my timeouts here. I might
Right.
need it later. This situation seems like an obvious 4th down. Oh, they took a delay of game.
Okay.
So-
Didn't even see the signal for. Didn't
So
really
no
even see
timeout,
the
but it's-
signal for the flag. Yep.
But why would you want to back yourself up in that situation? I don't understand the strategy.
Could have been a hard count trying to get something Pony to jump in a certain case. Nonetheless, Royals will send this punt away with 2 Ponies back deep. It was a good punt last time from Schlottman, and this is a good return right at midfield and trying to cut around the edge on that look-up field from Owen Egge on that return for the Ponies. And now this Stillwater offense comes right back to work as we've seen 3 straight punts from our 2 offenses here so far in this first half.
Yeah, great field position, though. They're at the 39-yard line. 6:33 left in this quarter.
Stillwater's going to have real good field position here all the way down to the 39, but still trying to find a bit of rhythm. We saw that Pony offensive drive last time kind of stall out. Kinsey not connecting with his receivers yet, and they're going to look to turn that around on this drive.
But the play was there.
Yep.
And to me, that's the key, right? Are they going to try to run that again? I think Woodbury's probably going to bring their defenders back because they do not want to make that same mistake twice, because the second time will probably cost them.
New drive from Woodbury's 38, and Rosario Matias breaks away across the 20. We've got a flag down in the backfield, and Rosario Matias takes it into the end zone. We're going to have to check on this penalty, and these Pony fans may have something to stop celebrating about, and it is a hold for Stillwater to bring that score back. They're going to bring it all the way back to where Rosario Matias broke off for a great run, and some of that run could have been too much of a jersey tug, a shoulder tug, and Pony's holding's going to take away that touchdown.
Yeah, the Woodbury fans are quite excited. They did the "You Can't Do That" chant. Huge break for Woodbury to have that penalty called, because just a great run by Rosario Matias. Again, no surprise, right? 39 yards all by himself. But that's coming back, and now it's going to be 1st and 20.
Didn't quite catch. It was around that right-hand side. That's Nolan Von Barren, the junior, who's the right tackle there. Not confirmed it was him on that call, but it was somewhere where Rosario Matias was looking. And to the left-hand side, incomplete. That's great coverage by Tyler Lamott all over Carter Zoller, who couldn't bring that pass in from Kinsey.
Yeah, almost looked like he got there just as the ball did or just before, but perfectly timed by number 2. Celebrates, says not tonight.
How sensitive are we to watching football and seeing corners, defensive backs so concerned about those pass interference calls when you can cleanly break up a pass like that? That's just pure talent.
It's technique too, right? I mean, it's well done.
Kinsey on 2nd down, looks to his left again, downfield, this time caught inside the red line of scrimmage. That ball came out, and Woodbury's got it. Oh, it was a sharp pass right into the hands of Bjorn Natchez, who couldn't hold on to the football in the turnover for the Woodbury defense.
Yeah, he's able to catch it here. You can see on the replay, he turns to move up the field, and it gets knocked loose as he's being tackled. Looks like number 21 got it.
I should correct myself. That's Owen Egge, who's going to be recorded for that fumble. And it's Michael Nicholson who jumped on that loose ball. And with 6:12 to go, it's our first turnover of this game. And it comes from a Pony receiver and a new drive here for the Woodbury offense.
Yeah, he also knocked it loose, so he got the strip and he got the reward.
So we've got our first turnover of this game, and it strikes to the Ponies, and it's Mathis on that first down carry to pick up a couple of yards, and we had a great shot on that replay. When you see a ball pop out like that, Don, it's got to be a Royal hand or two that got in, had the awareness to try and rip that ball away, and that was the play made for that turnover.
Yeah, I mean, great job there trying to catch it. You're trying to turn and get that to move up the field, and while he's moving, defender gets his arms in there and knocks it loose.
Talk about momentum, talk about trying to make an early statement on the defensive side of the ball. You come to a tough place to play, as Pony Stadium always is. And Woodbury's got the first turnover of this game. That was something that haunted the Ponies late in that game last week on a rainy night in Lakeville. A couple of fumbles to this offense late in that game as well. 2nd and 8, Snuggerud going to go to the air, looking down that left-hand side. That's incomplete, out of the reach of Ebensteiner, who had a step on a couple of Stillwater defenders. Incomplete pass leads to a 3rd down.
You can see the Stillwater players, defenders, talking about what they're going to do. Ebensteiner definitely someone to keep an eye on. I think he's clearly a weapon that Stillwater needs to keep an eye out for.
There's 3 seniors on this Woodbury offensive line as well, with 5:11 to go here in the second quarter. It's not the first pass down we've seen over the top from these offenses, and there's been some receivers with space downfield. Snuggerud unable to connect here this time, but might have to be forced to go back to the air here on 3rd and 8.
I mean, they got to be able to complete one of these. Stillwater doesn't want that to happen. Woodbury's doing a great job in a bad situation so far in this game.
Looks like we're going to get a timeout from Andy Hill, who's going to want to talk things over with his Royals. Back and forth first half here, Don. We haven't gotten a lot of rhythm out of either one of these offenses. We've seen some special teams come into big play, and Woodbury's early score, Ponies with that early scoring drive, and then the turnover here in that second quarter. That's going to be something this Ponies offense, they're going to be kicking themselves about.
For sure at halftime they will be, because you did have that 39-yarder that came back on the burst. You've had great field position in this first half, and you've done a great job defensively limiting Woodbury, who had really one kick return, and that's it. I mean, a couple plays afterwards, but the key was that kick return. And Stillwater's had, early on, they had an open wide receiver who just overthrew. So you've got everything going your way for Stillwater, but you only have 7 points on the board.
Yeah, these Pony fans looking to maybe get behind their defense here in a big spot. 3rd down and 8. Royals from their own 38. And Snuggerud thought about maybe a delayed toss on 3rd down. It looked like that's what they were
maybe should have
to develop. And instead, it's Jack Melgren who was right there to the quarterback, and it's going to lead to 4th down. Not what the Royals would have wanted out of that timeout.
No, but kind of exactly what Stillwater wants to do, right? You've got this option play coming your way, and you're able to snuff it out and shut it down. Stillwater's got to like that. They're going to get the ball here with 4.5 minutes left in this quarter, and they really do want to add that additional point. To go into halftime 7-3, I think it'd be really frustrating. You don't want to have a second half Woodbury comeback. You want to be able to get some points on the board.
So it is going to be Caden Schlopman who's going to take this punt, send it deep downfield. It's going to be returned here by Eggy across the 30, bit of space to the 40, and hit out of bounds just shy of the 45. So that's now 3 straight offensive possessions leading to punts for the Royals. And with 4:15 to go, it's after that turnover, it's time for this Pony offense. They want to find a bounce back off that turnover in the second quarter.
Yeah, and this is the 3rd time in a row that they've had great field position. They want to be able to take advantage of it.
4:15 left here, quarter number 2, 7-3 Ponies. Zario Matias, the touchdown run for Stillwater. And the field goal take for the Royals earlier on in this first half. Kinsey on first down, out to his right, caught, and just losing his footing a bit. Might have had space for a few more yards was Chase Edstrom. who, not sure exactly, maybe just off balance off that throw. Couldn't stay balanced and falls just about 3 yards forward for a second down.
Pretty sure you love the play, just don't want to have the player go down like that. I think Stillwater, from a coaching perspective, I think they've drawn up and did what they wanted. Now they just need some execution.
Two go in the backfield. Here's Ponies offense trying to find a spark, looking to their tailback, Rosario Matias. Nowhere to go again. Boy, both these defenses, Don, really locking down the weapons of these two offenses here in this first half. Nowhere to go for Rosario Matias that time.
Yeah, the only one that got away was the one that had the holding penalty, so great job there. And Stillwater's stuck in an interesting 3rd and 5 situation.
Just about right at midfield. Stillwater's last drives with a turnover and then a punt just before that. Rosario Matias had that late first quarter touchdown run. Kinsey looks to his sideline for the signals here on a big 3rd and 5. Ball right at the 49, and we get another whistle for a timeout to Stillwater, trying to talk things over with this 3rd and 5 upcoming. And we've already chimed on it, Don, but the weapons that Kinsey had to utilize last season, it really is a different looking offense outside of Kinsey and Rosario Matias. And there's trust in this quarterback that he's going to be able to step up and make those big throws in a big spot like this late in the first half.
Yeah, I think that's what you want to see. You want to see that progression, right? You want to see yourself develop all of these new weapons. Stillwater's ranked 17th in the state. You want to move up, and to move up, I think you're going to have really good quarterback play to complement your really great running play and to have your defense be solid. You need all that to come together, and I think Stillwater wants to build that.
Ponies actually found themselves trailing in the 3rd quarter of that game last year on the road against Woodbury. It's a 14-3 game. They scored 2 late touchdowns in the 4th quarter to come up with that win over the Royals just a season ago. And we see this Pony offense head back out onto the field. Now a 3rd and 5. Bo Labor, Andy Hill, 2 head coaches so experienced.
They do that a couple times, and you'll have crowds like this every night.
No kidding. No kidding. This Pony offense, this crowd, which we've heard can get loud here at Pony Stadium, looking for something to cheer about. They're not going to get it on this play with the Royals all over Rosario Matias again. Anthony Arias was right on the backside of Rosario Matias. And again, this Royals run defense stopping the Ponies here on 3rd down.
They were ready. I think you're going to have some quarterback play. You're going to have some passes. Woodbury's keying on that run really well. I think Stillwater, it's going to be interesting to see what the second half brings, but I think that's going to change.
Approaching our final 2 minutes of this second quarter now. Punt formation for this Stillwater defense. No Royals back to return this punt, trying to safely let this one bounce, and it takes a good Stillwater bounce inside of the 15 down to the 14, and it will be the Royals, who we haven't seen much of an up-tempo offense from so far. They're going to have a 2-minute situation here, and as you noted earlier, just that one timeout to work with toward the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, they used one earlier, so we'll see if that comes into play. 2 minutes is not a lot of time. But a great job, I guess, to limit some of the time run off the clock, but Stillwater did a great job with the punt. Milgram waited until it had to be stopped, and now you've got Woodbury starting at the 14-yard line. Not great field position. Stillwater might be looking to try to get the ball back, maybe, see if they can sneak one in before half, but a 7-3 halftime score I think will be very favorable to Woodbury after getting that opening field goal and nothing else since.
These defenses already the one turnover forced by the Woodbury defense on the new opening drive. It's Mathis in the backfield, and the defenses, well, they're the ones shining in this first half with Karkala on another stop there to make it a 2nd and long. And looks like we had a Stillwater timeout here to stop the clock at 1:54, with Bo Labor liking to see his defense come up with a stop.
Yeah, and I don't know where Mathis was going, but he tried to string. Stillwater doing a great job. They're stringing out the plays, and Mathis had nowhere to go. He kept trying to find an opening, but another pony and another pony and another pony were in the way. Ran into the herd, and Stillwater wisely uses that timeout. They've got one more left. They want to see what they can do to keep Woodbury pinned back and maybe get something done before halftime.
Mark Mathis, we saw in the backfield, he's replacing Isaiah Tisdale, who was the running back last year for this Woodbury offense. He himself, like Rosario Matias, had a 700-yard season with 12 touchdowns. George Bellios has been their 3-year starter, and so we kind of can see that out of both of these offenses here so far. It's been new looks, new guys in both of those key spots, and just these defenses not allowing them to get into any kind of rhythm in a low-scoring game here so far at Pony Stadium. But right now, it's the junior quarterback, Emmett Snuggerud, and his offense looking at a second down and long. They're going to go back to the ground. Not much there around the left-hand side from a Brandon Fortune carry. And I got to imagine we may be having Bo Labor use that final timeout here for the Ponies in this second quarter. Minute 48, trying to give your offense as much time as possible.
Yeah, and Woodbury's, I don't know if they're playing into their hands, but they're certainly playing into the use the timeout hands. Kind of interesting to see. I thought we might see more passing out of Woodbury, actually, when we came into this game. I'm a little surprised that I haven't seen that so far.
I think we were kind of expecting that from both of these teams. We've talked about Kinsey's arm in that Stillwater offense. It was an offense last season for Woodbury, just around the 120 yards passing per game, again with a couple-year starter in at quarterback. But Emmett Snuggerud is their new weapon that they've gone in to trust, and similar to last week against Roseville, had a tough time with that Roseville defense in a low-scoring game there as well. So what we have again here, they go to the air with a minute 48 left, a third down for this Pony defense to try and deal with. As Snuggerud has a bit of space and time, does go downfield, and coming up with a big open field tackle nowhere beyond DK Gora with the stop to bring down Ebensteiner. And it is not enough for the first down, and a fourth down coming. Boy, that's a crucial tackle by Gora in the open field.
Really nice tackle, too. I think Ebersteiner wanted to probably be able to hurdle him and get going, but he didn't. Good thing for Woodbury is that's a completion. Clock is running, and they are in no hurry to punt this ball.
I almost wouldn't have been surprised to see the Royals keep it on the ground to make sure that clock doesn't stop.
Well, I think they went for the safe pass instead.
Scoreboard says Stillwater do have one more timeout. I thought they had used their...
I think they did too.
Thought they had used their third, and we're going to get a penalty flag here, which is going to stop the clock. Now at 59 seconds. So
second delay of game for Woodbury.
Yeah, maybe just a little more space on the punt. No.
Okay.
They did use a timeout.
They called the time. Okay, so it would have been a delay of game had they not called the timeout.
They're still saying it. Stillwater have the one timeout left, which would be...
I think that's incorrect, because they would have used it right. They would have never let this run.
We'll keep an eye on it and see if that at all
changes.
It all gets...
It'll change at halftime, we know that.
It all gets corrected, and we got a punt on the way here for Woodbury. Exactly that. We got our halftime just around the corner here for you at Pony Stadium. But a punt here on 4th and 5 for Woodbury. And there's some motion, there's some movement right on the line of scrimmage for the Royals, and this is going to back up
Stillwater clapping
this Royal punt even further. Yeah, false start it is, so Woodbury took that timeout, and instead of what would have been the same amount of yards on a delay of game, false start here is going to force this punt back to be snapped around the 17. Make that 13.
So coaches are yelling 59 seconds on the clock.
Yes, just got that up from our...
They want that .6.
Officials here. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Surprised they didn't argue for that .6 as well.
Yeah, and if they thought that timeout was there, they would have taken it too.
Punts away here for the Royals. Aggie back to about his own 39 on the return. Looking for a seam upfield. He's hit right at midfield. And good special teams presence there. Sam Qualley, the first one to put that hit onto Aggie, and it's a punt here for this Woodbury offense. Ponies.
That was Natchez that time.
Oh, okay.
17.
Thank you.
Yep.
Had those two in the backfield. They share those punting returning duties.
We do, and it looks like they kind of decided. They do alternate between the two, but Natchez had a nice space, ran into the first player and was taken down. I think they'd like to see if someone find a seam or hit a crease, but hey, Stillwater still got great position. They're at the 48-yard line. They're in Woodbury territory with 47 seconds left. I don't think they have a timeout, but the scoreboard says they do.
These defenses have had nothing but the one turnover and all punts since that Rosario Matias touchdown run with 1:21 to go in that first quarter.
And from a weather point of view, you've seen the flags being shown. They're kind of waving up high by the press box, but when you look at the goalpost, you can see there's barely any wind. So good situation for the quarterback if he can take advantage of this.
Right at midfield, a new drive, and Kinsey on first down, quick pass, outright caught, and it is going to be hauled in and taken down inside the 35 and out of bounds to stop the clock. Rosario Matias out of the backfield using his hands and speed.
Yeah, use your weapons, right? And there he is using his weapon. He has space, and all he has to do is run down the field, collect up the yards, get out of bounds, stop the clock at 41 seconds.
Senior Will Hansen there tracking back deep for this Woodbury defense. Big play to open this drive on the first down. Kinsey into all sorts of space. He's going to take it himself, use the legs. He's going to be shoved out of bounds right at about the 26-yard line and comes up to able to stop the clock in a good
nice
play to get out of bounds on a 6-yard run.
Yeah, I like him stopping the clock, but there's a part of me that wants to jump into that coach's room and see if they're yelling, throw it away. Because I think there you could save more time. Don't risk getting tackled in bounds because you want points here badly.
They've kept that timeout on the clock, so that is something at the moment we understand still in play here for this Ponies offense. As this is a 2nd and 4 with Kinsey looking for space again to his right. That's thrown downfield, caught. Inbounds all the way down to the 15. This Pony offense going to have to hurry. Clock will stop till they reset the chains down to the 15 after that completion for the Ponies, and they will spike the football to stop it with 22.6 in a heads up. It's been a consistently good drive here for this Pony offense, looking for some points to end this first half.
Yeah, I think I liked what they did with Rosario Matias, bringing him down the field. I think you got to wonder if they're going to do that again.
So we've got a 2nd down and 10 approaching here for this Pony offense. 22 seconds left on this second quarter clock after they spike the football. Kinsey dump off right over the middle, caught. They are going to have to go quickly again. It was hauled in by Carter Zoller.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be down to a 3rd down here, and they're going to have to probably spike the football to stop it. That's exactly what they will do with 7 seconds to go, and it's going to set up a field goal opportunity here for the Ponies headed into this halftime break. So Zoller was open and made the catch. They don't have that timeout. They never used it. They would have there.
They would have had to, for sure.
It stayed up on the scoreboard here. They certainly would have had to use that 3rd timeout. So it's a field goal try right at the end of this first half. This is Landon Huber who will take the try. It's up and through the uprights here for Stillwater on the 27-yard field goal make for Landon Huber, who's been a consistent part of this Stillwater defense, and it pushes the Pony lead out to 7 with 3 seconds to go on this second quarter clock.
I mean, that's a huge difference from 7 to 3 when you look at going into the half. Lots of opportunity to have more, so you look at the scoreboard, you might say, 10 to 3 at half. Maybe if you're not watching this game, you're like, ooh, they're giving them trouble. Stillwater's done pretty much everything they've wanted to do in this half. They just maybe haven't had enough results from it in the end zone.
Huber only had 1 extra point in that game last week and steps up and hits his first opportunity at a field goal here tonight. Like you said, Don, in a low-scoring game like this, that feels like some big points right now for Stillwater. just to have that touchdown cushion in front of this Woodbury team. So 3 seconds to go. Both teams, now the timeout disappears from the scoreboard with 3 seconds remaining in this second quarter. And we will see Huber step up here. May look at a squib kick type of opportunity. They do just that. And it just bounces through. All pair of Royals, they'll have to return it inside the 15. Bouncing to the outside, just a bit of space. Clock has expired. And at the 27, a hit on the return to bring down the returner and send us into halftime here at Pony Stadium. Stillwater, a late field goal in that second quarter, has our halftime score. Stillwater 10, Woodbury 3. We're going to step aside for a short break here on VAC-TV and be right back to recap that first half of action here from Pony Stadium. Stay with us.
Preserve those local events that last a lifetime. Visit the VAC-TV store on your computer or mobile device to purchase school programs and community events. DVD, Blu-ray, and digital downloads are available. Make it easy and search for your program that you wish to purchase. Buying is convenient with multiple options at your disposal while checking out. Visit VACTV.org/store today.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
I'm Andy Fields. I'm the principal of Oakland Middle School. So Oakland is on the southern part of the school district. We support students that come to us from Brookview, Afton Lakeland, Anderson Elementary School, and Lake Elmo Elementary School. We have taken a school of 950 students and broke it into smaller, more manageable numbers of students to staff. There is nothing more important in education than the relationship between the teacher and the student. And at this building, I think that that's what's done very well. We have the best teachers. And I see that in the classroom observations that I do on a daily basis. The relationships are authentic, they're sincere, and our students have people that they can talk to during the day, not just about the algebra problems that they're working through, but about things that are happening in their life. And I believe that that happens when the teacher shows an interest and a care in the student. And that's something that I'm really proud of. Many of the teachers that are here have graduated from Stillwater Area High School and have also attended Oakland Junior High when it was the junior high. So one of the reasons why we moved from junior high to middle school is to really focus more on the whole child. That we know that our students that are adolescent need to have experiences that prepare them not just academically, but social, emotionally, and behaviorally. And so our programming here and the experience that we've tailor-fitted to each of our students is intended to grow all parts of the child, not just the academic part that was the main focus in our junior highs. You know, in a changing world, making sure that our students have real-life experiences to work with kids, work with other students that are similar and different to them is super important. And being the magnet site for the medically fragile, medically complex students, and being the epicenter for change and diversity in this school district. And to see these kids do incredible, amazing things with one another makes all of us proud.
One scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when. Take control. 1. Assess your needs. 2, make a plan. 3, engage your support network. Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell.
Ponies get a late field goal in this first half to make it a 10-3 lead over the Royals of Woodbury here tonight at Ponies Stadium. Stillwater's Landon Huber with that late field goal on a beautiful night. Great shot of the river here. And back here at Ponies Stadium, Hans Bristol and Don Ackerman back with you. And we had noted, Don, that field goal toward the end of that first half felt really important for the Ponies as these two offenses still trying to get into their rhythm here in week 2.
Yeah, nice addition. I think really important for Stillwater to get more than just that one drive. But of course, that first half, probably they've left a lot of money on the table, if you will. And I think Woodbury has to be really happy to hold them to that low score. But Woodbury has a lot to think about in the second half. Stillwater has to think, man, we played a really great half. You just can't tell on the scoreboard.
Well, our one highlight, and from the offensive side of things, Emilio Rosario Matias with that touchdown run in the first quarter, and just some great vision and strength on that touchdown.
Yeah, you can see him here going down, just using number 40 as the lead block drives down. He had a second play that was heading toward the northern end zone, but holding on the play, but he ran 39 yards on a great play, so, he can do that again, so keep an eye out for him, but close, so close.
Yeah, that was been a big switch, a big turn in what could have been in this first half for Stillwater. As we take a look at some of our early season standings for these two teams. Of course, still lots of football left to be played, but both of these two teams in some tough districts and physical games week in and week out, and including this one here tonight. We had talked about that matchup from last season, the 28-25 game that these two teams had. It's been a little bit different of a rhythm of a game here tonight at 10-3, but week in and week out, Don, these teams have got to be ready no matter the opponent in your district, as there you have the Metro East standings with Stillwater and Woodbury.
Yeah, and you're going to see them going through each other, right? Woodbury, East Ridge, Mounds View, Forest Lake, White Bear Lake. Those are on the schedule for Stillwater, and Woodbury's got White Bear Lake, East Ridge, Mounds View, and Forest Lake. They're going on the road, plus a game at TCO. Yep. So Woodbury, on this road trip, they want to really come back in the second half this week like they came back last week. Yep. They were down 10-0 at half. Today they're down at half. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half, and as these two schools are going to mirror each other's schedule almost.
Yeah, it's tough weeks going on for both of these teams. We go back to week 1 for these two teams. We talked about it for Stillwater, a rainy night, a good Lakeville North team, a couple of turnovers late on in that game. Don saw the Ponies fall in week 1, but they've responded well here tonight in this first half.
Yeah, you can see it was 14-7 at one point in that game, and just got away in that fourth quarter. Again, you don't want to have the opposite happen here tonight, right? Yep. You have one there, get away. Tonight you have a lot of opportunity to score, but you just have that 10-3 lead. You want to build on that in the second half. It'll be interesting to see how does Stillwater rebound. Quarterback play, I think we still want to see some improvement there. I think Woodbury wants to start using their quarterback if they want to get in this game. Yep. Because we had circled, who would you have as your star players? You said keep an eye on the quarterback, keep an eye on the running back. For Stillwater, we were, easy to know that it's going to be Rosario Mateas. Yep. You had senior defensive back Cal Nitty. I don't think we've called his name yet. So Stillwater as an defensive unit have done well because we're calling different names on different tackles. They're doing a great job as a unit. Now we want to see that continue in the second half.
Yeah, and those defenses have got to be plenty happy with how that first half was gone. Meanwhile, this is a comfortable spot in a game like this for Woodbury. It was the second half last week. You see those two scores that they were able to put together in the third and fourth quarter at home and knock off a tough Roseville team, and you come away with a win like that week 1, Don, that does so much for your confidence to go 1-0.
I feel like you can repeat last week's speech, use it again, except say, let's do what we did last week.
Yeah, the Royals were able to knock off that Roseville team. They got those two scores. They had no points. It was a 10-0 lead for Roseville at halftime, but Woodbury were able to respond on their home turf, and they're going to be looking. They had an early touchdown in that third quarter and an offensive throw from Emmett Snuggerud. That's kind of what these offenses right now are looking for, Don, are looking for a big play and a spark to try and send some momentum to either one of these teams.
Yeah, I think the one big play we had was that fumble as Stillwater was driving. Stillwater hasn't had that same play, so Woodbury's done a good job of holding the Ponies in potentially what could have been a terrible first half, because I think Stillwater did a lot of what they wanted. Yep. They had a couple plays not execute, but you had the guy open down the field. You just need to connect on it. I didn't see anything like that from Woodbury, so I think Stillwater has to feel really good about half, but also think, man, we left a lot out there that we could have had more.
Yeah, you would think we could see a little bit more from Kinsey and Snuggerud's, those quarterbacks' arms, as we head into our second half here from Pony Stadium. Beautiful night tonight. It's the home opener here for the Ponies. And in our halftime break, we look at our upcoming schedule. You kind of talked about it a little bit, Don. That's a tough trip away from home already next week to Eastridge. Back here at home in 2 weeks against Moundsview. And Forest Lake, we saw a great thriller game between those two teams last year. That Edina matchup on October 10th, Don, we talked about it a little bit earlier. That was a team forced Stillwater out of the playoffs, beat them in the regular season. I don't wonder if that one's got a little bit brighter of a highlighter on the schedule this year for Stillwater.
I would think that's a game you're going to circle. I think Edina is a bitter word for Stillwater to say after last season, and I think they're really going to want to put that one away. And if they can start building their momentum, if you see Kinsey start to use all these weapons, if all that builds, that could be a great game to explode before you end the season at home.
Had some really good games against Forest Lake, White Bear Lake last year. There was that late game. We got rained out of here. You and I were running through the parking lot in some thunderstorms. That game went late into the night, but a good one between Forest Lake and Stillwater. Meanwhile, Woodbury's schedule, they head back onto the road against White Bear Lake, and away to Stillwater, away to White Bear Lake. That's a tough 1-2 punch to open up their regular season after getting that win at home for the Royals.
Yeah, they go on the road, and then that Eastridge game is at TCO. So they're not. It's a home, but it's not really home, right?
Always a great environment there in Egan for a high school game. Absolutely, that'll be a really unique game, for the Royals. But their focus, Don, is going to be on this second half, down by 7. You know, is there a key for Woodbury? They had some moments in that first half. They were really able to slow down Stillwater. But like you said, if this Pony offense gets into a rhythm, that could put the Royals in a tough spot to respond.
Yeah, that first drive with Mathis running really well, but that didn't really continue. So I think they need to figure out what did Stillwater figure out and adjust. So I think both teams scored on their first drives and then struggled afterwards. I think Stillwater was because of the penalty, because of the turnover. Woodbury really doesn't have that as far as reasons go. So I think they've got to look at how did Stillwater adjust, and now we have to adjust to their adjustment, because I don't think they really had a great first half after that nice opening drive, which was really spurred by that great kickoff return.
Lots to take away from that first half. Second half just around the corner here on VAC-TV. Don't go anywhere. It's a halftime lead here for the Ponies with a 10-3 lead. Stay right with us. We'll be back here just after a short break.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love Love is the majority, filling up something far more important than any feed. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day with understanding, empathy, and compassion, leaving hate to become what it truly is, a whisper.
Preserve those local events that last a lifetime. Visit the VAC-TV store on your computer or mobile device to purchase school programs and community events. DVD, Blu-ray, and digital downloads are available. Make it easy and search for your program that you wish to purchase. Buying is convenient with multiple options at your disposal while checking out. Visit VAC-TV.org/store today.
Just about to get our third quarter underway here from Pony Stadium. Hans Bristol, Don Ackerman back with you here. 10-3. The Ponies trying to get into the win column in their home opener at Pony Stadium for the first time here in the 2024 season. Welcoming you back to Pony football right here on VAC-TV. Just a beautiful night, Don. We got to take in these kinds of nights. That breeze you talked about earlier, it's felt like it's died down a little bit, but we take these kinds of nights, and right now I think for both of these offenses, they're the ones looking to heat up a little bit, but the defensive efforts from both of those defenses in the first half are really the big takeaway.
Yeah, for sure. I think we expected a lot more from the offenses. I guess sometimes you might be disappointed in that, but I think you got to give credit to the defenses who have not really allowed much to happen. It's going to be an interesting second half, I think, to see what adjustments happen after that first half, because both teams scored on the opening drives, and you're like, uh-oh, here we go. Do we have a shootout coming? And we do not.
When we looked at some of those scores from last week, the Ponies saw a game slip away from them in the second half in Lakeville. Great student section on hand that the Ponies have here tonight, but the Royals on the other side were in one of these closely contested, hard-fought games in that three-point win. And there's a good look at Rosario Matias right in the middle of his swarm of teammates in the kind of first half. That first quarter specifically, they're going to be looking for more out of number 6 with that in the second half.
For sure. Easily could have 2 touchdowns instead of 1, and a key, I think, to keep an eye on. Also, you know, you're so used to Stillwater having so many weapons, but for me, he's the MVP of the first half.
Yeah, these Pony fans had some big moments. We had the one turnover to this Pony offense out of that first half as well. But that was all to speak of out of half number 1 in Beau Labor. And like you said, Don, got to be pretty pleased overall with what this team has been able to do offensively and defensively from that first half. But you're still really looking for Rosario Matias' legs, Kinsey's arms. Ponies will start the ball with the football in the second half. They deferred to open the first half of the game, so those points even bigger, Don, late in that third quarter, and led to Stillwater having themselves the football back here in this third quarter of action from Pony Stadium.
You would probably love to have a point sandwich with the halftime in the as the middle, right?
Absolutely.
Get a field goal in the half, start this with a touchdown. Suddenly this could be a 17-3 game. That's a whole different dimension than it was with 1 minute left in that second quarter.
Here's a look at the senior Cal Nitty. Like you said, didn't mention his name too much, but the defense in a whole, they got to be pretty pleased out of that first half. Good week last week with those 12 tackles against the Panthers.
Yeah, biggest problem was that one special teams play. I think that was just a great job by Evan Steiner. They've really done a good job limiting him. I think he's one of the big weapons for Woodbury. So can they continue to do that in the second half? That's the question. There's a good look at the Woodbury team. They're going to be kicking off. Their defense needs to be stout because they do not want to go down 17-3. Stillwater did a great job managing that last minute. I think they could have got more out of it, but they got something, and I think that was important.
Rosario Matias, Owen Eggy back to return this Caden Schlottman kick to open up our third quarter here from Pony Stadium. Just a perfect night for football here in Stillwater, and a touchback with Rosario Matias returning that in the end zone. So back out comes this Stillwater offense, able to get points late in that second quarter. It was nothing but punts and the one turnover since Rosario Matias's touchdown late in that first quarter. But what sparks to your brain, Don, is a key for this Pony offense to open up here in the third?
I think just continue what they've been doing. I'd like to see, more weapons used offensively with the passing game, but obviously you have a great running back. I don't blame you for using him.
Kinsey comes out to open up this new drive. Edstrom and Rosario Matias in the backfield. Maybe a bit of movement to open up that first play. Didn't see a penalty flag as Kinsey over the middle. Boy, it was a bullet looked like it was Joe Fredcove who was on the returning end of that pass, but that has it knocked out of his hands. Harrison Briggle there in coverage for the Royals.
Yeah, incomplete to Fredcove. I feel like he had his hands on the ball. You want to get those catches. Kinsey's had a couple of, I think, good passes that just don't get caught. And I like opening with that but those button hooks, I think they feel like they need to work something where there's room to move.
2nd and 10, back to the ground. Rosario Matias breaks a tackle, sprinting out to midfield and taken down just shy of the 45-yard line. That's just about a 31-yard connection and a spark for this Pony offense and a big first down.
Again, we probably sound dumb by saying don't use him all the time because he's such a great player. You do want to have some diversity in your attack, but great run there, and now the Stillwater Ponies are at midfield again.
And right at midfield, they're going to find their way back on the inside of midfield with some movement before a first down and 10. That second level that Rosario Matias is able to reach into, Don, he just explodes into space with that speed, and you felt like this Pony offense needed a play like that right now.
I think they do, for sure, and he's just fun to watch. I love watching him go laterally. He's got good bursts. He doesn't give up. I can't find any fault with him.
First down and long again to Rosario Matias, and again, just finding space down that far sideline. He got pushed out of bounds just beyond the 30-yard line, and doing it himself, number 6, out of the backfield with another first down.
Yeah, and if you watch the replay, you'll see him use the shoulder shimmy because he's trying to look at where he's going to run. He's just fun to watch when he goes down the field, and I mean, he's carrying the team right now, that's for sure.
All the way down to the 36 on a 1st and 10. Another big gain, a 13-yard run, that time from Rosario Matias. He's had the big 30-yard explosion, that explosion as well. Carrying this Pony offense. 1st and 10. Guess who? Bounces to the left once again across the 25 down to about the 24 for another 12-yard gain. And this is going to have to be adjustment time now to Rosario Matias alone for this Woodbury defense with another first down.
Yeah, this feels like the kind of way you finish the game right after you've worn them down. They're coming out fresh in the second half, and Woodbury doesn't seem to have an answer. Kudos to the offensive line for giving Matias the room to run.
Rosario Matias just all over this Woodbury defense to open up this new drive. Pony's offense going to be plenty happy with that. Play action on first down. Kinsey looks to his right, lobs a ball into the back of the end zone, and it's just out of the reach of a diving Owen Iggy, incomplete to the junior, and a second down upcoming.
Another play where Kinsey might be leading him too far, but I love to see he's trying to keep it inbounds. He's right there. I can't fault Kinsey on that. I think sometimes the wide receiver just needs to get that ball. And the defender, he's open. So great job by the wide receiver.
Had Adrian Heath, who was in coverage there for the Royals, beat on second down. Rosario Martinez finally tracked down by a Woodbury defender, Tyler Lamont, able to just push him out of bounds for no gain, and it leads to a 3rd down and 10. But you like the aggressiveness of that deep shot there from Kinsey in this Ponies offense, trying to get something going through the air.
Yeah, if you're playing Stillwater, you need to game plan for that because they can do it. And I'm hoping the receivers will dial in to pick up those passes by Kinsey. If I'm the quarterback, coach, I'm pretty happy with where that ball is. Just I talked to my wide receiver coach and say, hey, have your guys go get that because I feel like I'm putting it in a good spot for you.
3rd down and 10 now, down to the Woodbury 24. 2 in the backfield behind Kinsey, who rolls right, looks back left, has a receiver open, who's got blockers in front of him. He'll cut inside and waltz into the end zone for a Pony touchdown. Carter Zoller had the blockers in a beautifully designed play to take it downfield, had all sorts of room in front of him, and with 10:44 to go in this 3rd quarter, it ignites the lead for Stillwater. And with that kind of blocking, Don, that's going to be all the space in the world for that touchdown.
Kudos to the coaching staff who designed a great play. Woodbury's probably salivating because they got the blitz. They've got 2 guys who have a good look at the back of Kinsey's jersey. Kinsey throws it over their head, and they got to think, oh, no. What just happened? Zoller flying down the field, has blockers in front of him. He's able to find a seam, get into the end zone, and, boy, I tell you, that's exactly what Stillwater. Now you look at the last 1 minute plus what we've seen in this quarter. Stillwater's put together a really nice point sandwich with the halftime in the middle.
And Carter Zoller is the sophomore who brought that pass in, and just to redirect, like you said, and shift the offense and the defensive eyes to the other side of the field. And with the 2 blockers in front of him, you said it, Woodbury had that blitz, and that was the right play call at the right time for this Stillwater offense to come up with the big score. That's got them out to a 17-3 lead, and that does mark Nick Kinsey's first touchdown pass of the season for the junior on that connection to Carter Zoller for the 13-yard score in an 80-play scoring drive, just 1:16 off this game clock to drive down the field. And now all of a sudden you felt like a close game at halftime. That score opens this up for the Ponies.
Yeah, people scoreboard watching are going to go, whoa, things changed quickly. And they did. And the one thing I really like about that Zoller play is Zoller's able to get the ball with some space. We were talking a little bit about what needs to change in the second half. Woodbury defense has been right on top of most of the passes. There's a defender on the receiver's back. There's someone, his arms poking through. There, Zoller's able to get a clean catch and get down the field. Stillwater finding a way to get the receivers open. That's really nice and gives them room to run. And when Stillwater can run, good luck keeping up.
And for this Pony defense, it's got to be going back to what you were able to do in that first half, and that is not allow this Woodbury offense to get into any kind of rhythm. They get a connection here on first down, a really good hit as Hauser brought that ball in for Woodbury. I believe Silbernagel was the first Pony to that receiver to bring up a 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, and, Woodbury, that's a nice play. Get something moving, 2nd and 6. They got to figure out how they're going to get past this Stillwater defense that did a great job locking them down after their opening 3 points.
Just wonder if this Royals offense is going to be some kind of different looks to throw at this Pony defense, trying to change things up before they can get anything further, but that's not getting beyond guess who? One of our key players, that's Cal Nitty, finally getting to say his name on a nice deflection out of the air.
Yep, we know that. Just look at, he just spies it, jumps, knocks it down. Great job.
You know what he'll be thinking watching the tape later on tonight, tomorrow, is he wanted a second paw up there to bring that ball out of the air for a turnover, though. 3rd down and 6, both times Snuggerud, the quarterback for Woodbury, going to the air on these 2 opening plays with a 3rd down and 6, 9:54 left in our 3rd quarter. Out of the backfield on 3rd down, Snuggerud in trouble. He's hit as that ball got away, incomplete. Beautiful pressure from Joe Fredcove to knock down the Woodbury quarterback, and it's 4th down.
Boy, Stillwater dialing up the pressure, and Snuggerud has no chance there. Lucky to get it away, I guess, but great play there. Stillwater fans a little reserved right there, but I think super excited the way this second half has started off.
Going to be plenty happy with how this defense has continued to dominate this football game here tonight for the Ponies. Punting opportunity here now for Woodbury. As this punt gets away, it's drilled right to midfield, bobbled but recollected. That's Agee on the return, and he's hit hard just across the 45. And inside of Woodbury territory, another good opportunity for this Stillwater defense to try and grow this lead here in the 3rd. 9:39 to go in our 3rd quarter of action, and after that big scoring drive from this Ponies offense, there's got to be plenty of confidence and momentum right now with Stillwater getting the ball back here in good field position.
I was going to say, good field position again. They've been between the 40s a lot of this game, and I mean, at some point, Woodbury, you can't keep doing this. A team is going to take advantage of you at this point, and man, this could be a powerful drive that's going to make it a bad night for Woodbury.
Kinsey on 1st down, another play action. Oh, had a receiver there. It kind of caught Carter Zoller on his back shoulder, and it ends up falling just incomplete. Maybe it wasn't exactly the spot that Kinsey wanted to put it towards Zoller on that throw. Falls incomplete safely into bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, throws it really behind Zoller there. I guess at some point fortunate that none of the Woodbury players picked up on that.
2 in the backfield, tight end here for Kinsey on 2nd down. Rosario Matias trying to bounce to the outside, and this time Woodbury's defense has a response. Puglisi and Lamont in on that tackle. And it's been the type of carries for Rosario Matias is when he's gotten into space down, he's really been able to explode for those big gains, but the run defense for Woodbury for the most part has been able to limit those. Not enough to set up that scoring drive on that last time, but a good spot there to force this 3rd and long.
Yeah, really good. Big play that they need, and you can see them trying to knock it away from Rosario Matias, and he's not giving the ball up.
3rd and 8 here now for the Ponies, a 17-3 lead. Rosario Matias is going to toss this one downfield, and he's going to have the receiver. Agee is open for the catch. Down to the 20-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 21, and doing it all out of the backfield. Well-designed play, and Rosario Matias threw it up, and Agee had to come back from that ball a little bit, but he got to it for the 1st down.
Yeah, huge props to the coaches who called a great play there, and to Agee, who did a really good job tracking it down, running through 2 Woodbury players because that ball was underthrown. That's going to happen when your running back throws a pass, but great design play, and boy, I tell you, people studying up on how to play Stillwater in the future they have a lot to think about.
Boy, a reverse from the arm of Rosario Matias goes to work. Now he goes back to his legs, exploding across the 1st down marker. Did he stay in bounds? He did, and it's a touchdown for the Ponies. Rosario Matias, the 20-yard touchdown run, his 2nd of the night, and it extends the Pony lead to 20. How about that? Sets up the throw for the 1st down. Next play finds that space to the outside and explodes for the 20-yard touchdown run with Landon Huber on to try the extra point. and it is straight through, and the lead now 24-3. Another look at that run.
Great job doing what he does, stays in bounds. He's hard to stop, and he just chugs. He's looking around. He really wants to score.
Even he had to look back at the officials and make sure a piece of his foot didn't catch that sideline. It certainly did not. And that first move on the defender is what created all the space in the world for Emilio to take that downfield and get that score for the Ponies. And all of a sudden here, Don, you're looking at a 21-point lead for Stillwater, just a complete flip. Now with the Ponies finding that rhythm we've been looking for from this offense.
Yeah, number 6 is shifty in the best way possible and just gets results. Good runner, hard to tackle, can stay in bounds, and apparently he can throw too. So he's getting it all done tonight. He'll work on his deep throws maybe a little bit, but that's, as far as things to work on, that's the only flaw I see in his game.
Yeah.
and it's not one that he's supposed to be developed at. Great. He could easily have 3 touchdowns tonight.
Yes.
And I guess we'll see how many more come his way, because once Woodbury starts getting worn down, you're going to see him running more.
Royals on the short squib kick return are able to kind of capitalize on it a little bit. They'll bring this ball up to the 35 here for a new drive. And this is a Royals offense that's just had no response for this Pony defense as they come out now with a big lead. That's going to allow Stillwater to continue to be aggressive defensively, and how much they've gotten to this Woodbury backfield.
Yeah, I feel like Woodbury needs to look at some of the plays that the variety that Stillwater's providing. They're needing to do the same thing.
Pony football here for you on VAC-TV on a Thursday night. Beautiful night here at Pony Stadium. And on first down, it's a missile over the middle from Snuggerud to Nolan Freymiller, who gets it out to midfield. About a 15-yard connection to open up a first down for the Royals.
We expected to see more of this, right? Snuggerud in the pocket doing a great job finding his tight end, Freymiller.
Snilbernagel, who brought him down and using that running back out of the backfield. Finally, a bit of life from this Royals offense, leading to a first down and 10 right to midfield here. About 7:20 to go on a play action. Was looking out wide and actually found a way for Snuggerud to kind of fall forward and not take that sack and pick up a yard. But another offensive play that just is not connecting for the Royals right now. And it'll be 2nd and 9.
I mean, if you're not going to connect, you might as well get a yard out of it, I guess. 2nd and 9. Stillwater's defense, pretty good, not giving him much space to work with.
Ponies have had themselves back-to-back touchdowns to open up this third quarter. Their only score came late in the first, late in the second with a 1 touchdown and the field goal. Royals now looking downfield. This is Snuggerud up for the shot, and it falls incomplete. And it had looked like Ebersteiner got his hands onto the ball. It was good coverage for the Ponies, and it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, really better coverage, but a great play. Ebersteiner does a good job watching the ball and adjusting. You can see him go back here. He actually does find the space. He's frustrated. He hits the ground with both hands because he did everything he could do except catch that ball.
All right, Riley Runk was the one in coverage there for the Ponies. That ball had kind of gotten over the top of him. But a 3rd down and 9, 6:38 left in the third. 1 first down on this drive for the Royals, and it's a quick pass out wide. This one is caught. He is wrapped up quickly by the Stillwater defense. Nowhere to go for Sean Rakowski, the sophomore, out of the backfield again, and it's now a 4th down. Swarming Pony defense right now.
Great hands by Rakowski there. I think that, we've seen a lot of contested balls and they're not always caught. He snagged that one. That was a great catch.
Royals have picked up just the 1 first down on this drive, and you got to believe here, third quarter right now, this offense looking to stay aggressive here, facing the 21-point deficit, have a 4th and 6 from the Stillwater 46. As it's Snuggerud, that ball was batted out of the air. Boy, it almost fell back in the hands of Snuggerud, but that was a leaping Joe Fredkove who forces the turnover on downs. here for the Woodbury offense, and the Ponies offense will come back out onto the field.
Great job by the Stillwater defense. It's so funny, you can see them, they're so excited, they want so much more. You can see Jack Melgren just jumping around and excited. Great job by the defense to limit Woodbury.
Boy, this Stillwater defense, they can celebrate all they want with the job they've done here tonight so far. This has been a Woodbury offense that has just not had the answers. Turnover on downs on that drive, trying to be aggressive there on 4th down. Nonetheless, 5:47 to go, and it's the Ponies back with the football here in this 3rd quarter, coming off back-to-back scoring touchdown drives. And it's Kinsey on 1st down. Quick pass out wide, caught. He's ripped down to the turf just inside of midfield. That's Zhang on the catch for the Ponies. And Sam Quayle on the tackle. I think right now your Stillwater offense, you're looking to continue on to this lead, have no problem holding on to this football here, letting that clock continue to run.
Finding a wide receiver with open space, that's the nicest part of that play.
2nd and 7. We'll go back to a pass. Rosario Matias comes up with the catch. He beats a defender on the outside. So good around the edge. And he's going to have a 1st down to the 38 in an 11-yard connection. Boy, it's again, Don, that first move that Rosario Matias is able to make and causes so much space and chaos for him downfield.
Yeah, you see him run by the junior linebacker, Liam Schmitz, who's just frustrated, but trying to keep up with number 6 is not going to be easy.
Doing it with his arm, with his legs, and the pass-catching game as well. So valuable to an offense, and here he goes again, down across the 30 to the 20, and just inside to make that the 25. That's down to the 24 for a 14-yard gain. And once again, the Royals here just on the back foot. No answer for number 6 right now, and another Pony 1st down.
Not much you can say except Stillwater's got a great job with their balance here. They're calling great plays, and they're being executed, and Woodbury is on the ropes, down 3-24.
Keeping it comfortable for the quarterback, for the running back, just being able to do it all out of the backfield right now here for the Ponies as they go stay aggressive right back to the air. Kinsey trying to use his legs now, lobs a ball downfield, incomplete. Just too much behind it to Carter Zoller, who had that touchdown earlier in this 3rd quarter. It's going to be just an incomplete pass. And Kinsey's going to be a player as a junior quarterback. We said it earlier, 2,200 yards just a season ago. But those will be the types of plays he'll be hard on himself, looking to make those types of connections. And how about this Pony offense right now? You're up 21. They're staying aggressive here, Don.
Yeah.
Trying to look for more points.
Those kind of scrambles, those connect later, Stillwater's going to be a great team.
With an offense that a week ago found in only seven points in that loss to Lakeville North. Able to read out that screen well. Rosario Matias just on that little dump off with Luke Puglisi, who was right there on the stop for Woodbury to bring it up to a 3rd down here for this Ponies offense. It was a frustrating way to start the season. Lakeville North has been a team that have really turned things around 2 straight seasons. That was the one of 3 losses last year, was that Lakeville North team for the Ponies. We have seen a different Stillwater offense here tonight with a 3rd down and 8 now approaching. Kinsey rolls right. He's got a pass caught. It's going to be shy of the 1st down marker. Really nice tackle by Brennan Schmitz on that wrap-up. And it will lead to a 4th down decision here for the Ponies. Maybe keeping that offense, keeping things aggressive out on the field here late in this 3rd quarter.
I can't blame them for doing that. I like the fact that they're getting all the different players involved. That's something that I think you're going to want to see game after game in the future. So you're running this 3rd quarter out. You're having a nice drive. You're up 24-3, 3:33 left on the clock. Just keep driving and keep pounding.
It's going to be a 4th and 3 down to the 17, and right up the middle goes Rosario Matias, and the confidence in the running back to pick up that 1st down. on a 4th and 3 to keep this drive alive late into this third quarter. Boy, he has continued to have a really stellar night here tonight for these Ponies. Stillwater team, we said it, I think right off the top, Don, there's always a bit of expectations, a bit of pressure put on Stillwater football, the success they have had over the years, and that Bo Labor has really been able to continue to build here. And a short carry on first down, and we looked at that schedule, and there are some big matchups coming up in the next few weeks, not to look too far ahead out of our third quarter here, but these Ponies are really built for those kinds of moments. In this offense, we've seen the kind of damage they can do in this third quarter.
Yeah, and I think that's what you want to develop. As you've had this game under control, you can see the game planning shifting a little bit. I love what the Stillwater coaches are doing.
Second down, Kinsey will look to his left, fire it toward the end zone. Diving effort that ends up incomplete. Zoller was there, and it was under the coverage of Tyler Lamont for the Royals. Just bounced off his fingertips for an incomplete.
Yeah, so you watch this play again, and you can see, boy, the ball's right there. And you just, the one great thing is I think these wide receivers are going to say, I had so many balls in my hands, I should have caught them. That motivation, I think, puts a change on the way practice happens, and they can start connecting on those plays. You know, Stillwater's going to be tough to beat with all these weapons getting used.
Kinsey tried to make a second touchdown connection through the air here tonight for the Ponies. Brings it up to a third down, pressure right away. And first, really one of the first times we've seen this Woodbury pressure get to this defense. And Kinsey ends up throwing it away, incomplete. And Kinsey now stays down on the turf here for Stillwater. Hoping to just be some type of cramp situation that a teammate's going to help out with, and they're going to take a look at Kinsey, and we'll have a pause before a 4th and 8 here down to the 11-yard line. It'll be a 28-yard try, and Kinsey just a bit of a limp, favoring that right ankle area as he's coming off the field. Something to keep an eye on here for Stillwater. And the first time, Don, we've seen that Woodbury defensive front finally get some pressure to this Ponies offense. And it will be Landon Huber who will come out for what will be a 28-yard try. Connected on the one field goal earlier on in this contest, late in that first half. And Huber's second opportunity at a field goal is good on a 28-yard field goal with 2:16 to go in this third quarter. Huber has had a solid night to the kicking duties for this Stillwater offense, who for a third straight drive find points in this third quarter.
Yeah, and in between Woodbury's defense, Woodbury's been shut down by their defense, so great result, and it just feels like they're pounding away. It'd be interesting to see. Kinsey didn't look frustrated in any way when he came off the field, so I'll be curious to see how that works. Do they consider a 27-3 score good enough to maybe give Kinsey a rest after he needs to get stretched or whatever? There's a good look at him right there on the sideline. Looks like he's ready to go.
Here's 2B okay, just kind of awkwardly got caught as a Woodbury blitz finally got to the Stillwater quarterback. This quarter is opened up to 17 third quarter points here now for the Ponies. After a 10-3 halftime, a driven kick will be returned just inside the 15, trying to bounce to the outside and finally corralled down to the turf out to the 36-yard line, where Woodbury will get the football back here, looking for some answers in this third quarter, and they'll start right on their own 36-yard line.
There's not a lot of the third quarter left as there's 2:09 on the clock.
Kind of wondering to see some different looks offensively from this Royals offense. A punt and turnover on down so far in this third quarter. Hans Bristol, Don Vackerman, our entire VAC-TV crew out here with you tonight at Pony Stadium. A beautiful night. Ponies in control on the scoreboard, and Snuggerud gets all tangled up, dives and falls out of bounds after about a 4-yard carry. That's something we haven't seen a lot from the Woodbury quarterback here tonight. Ponies looking for what would be their first victory of the season. And the Royals right now just looking for answers on the offensive side of things.
Yeah, looking for answers and looking not to lose their first of the year. But Snuggerud trying to go down the field, there was nobody open, so he didn't have much choice. So he keeps the ball, runs forward for a couple yards.
Not much has just been able to offset or keep this Stillwater defense off balance throughout this game tonight. Snuggerud on the keeper, tries to bounce out to the left, but boy, how many times have we seen a guy like Cal Nitty and this defense from the Ponies get into the backfield and just slow down everything Woodbury's thrown at them?
Yeah, you're looking at a 3rd and 8 as this quarter might expire before they get the ball off.
See what Andy Hill, and the head coach who's had many battles, actually replaced Bo Labor way back when. Labor was the Woodbury head coach. Over 13 seasons now, Hill's been in charge of this Royals team. Another look at Kinsey, who still's maybe just stretching out those lower leg muscles a bit. Final 30 seconds here, a 3rd down and 8 from their own 38. And we get whistles for
delay of game.
A delay of game to Woodbury's offense.
Their second one. A third was avoided with a timeout. And I guess if you're trying to convert a 3rd and 8, you really don't want to make it more than that, do you? 3rd and 13, that's not great. So Woodbury just having a tough time getting things put together here.
Yeah, there's going to be some new faces to both sides of the ball this year. Had some consistency in their offensive line that was returning. And after having a 3-year starter as a quarterback, over 1,400 yards passing. Had Liam Fromlett, Charlie Jacobson were some key targets to this Woodbury offense. They've lost since last season. Snuggerud on 3rd down, fires right. That ball is caught inside of the 45. A good pull-in by Eberstein out to about the 45, which will be a 12-yard gain. And it would be down to a 4th and short here for the Royals. That looks to be taking us into the 4th quarter. Well, the Ponies, they find a big response. 17 third-quarter points. And as we head to the 4th, it's Stillwater 27, Woodbury 3. We'll step aside for a break here on VAC-TV. Stay with us.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television. You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Fourth quarter just about to get set here from Pony Stadium in Stillwater. A 17-point third quarter has them in front 27-3. Hans Bristol, Don Ackerman back with you here at Pony Stadium. Stillwater in control, and the kind of offense, the kind of third quarter, Don, that these Pony fans were looking for here into the 4th.
Yeah, really impressive. You know, we got right on the sideline, Pride the Pony, the mascot, throwing footballs to the stands, and boy, Stillwater Ponies are blocking balls on the field. Snuggerud's really had a hard time getting passes. The Ponies have batted. I don't think I've seen this many batted passes in a game in a while.
Yeah, this Pony defense has just gotten all over the backfield of this Woodbury offense, and that was Joe Fredcove. We've said his name a couple times here tonight. He gets back and knocks the Snuggerud pass down. So a turnover on downs here for for the Woodbury offense, I should say. And the Ponies right back with the football to open up this fourth quarter of action, and we'll start on the Woodbury 44 here with 11:54 left in this fourth quarter of action. And it's good to see Nick Kinsey, the quarterback, trot back out onto the field. And a quick pass on first down, caught, shoveled out of bounds toward the Woodbury sideline. And gotta think Ponies continuing to stay aggressive with the football, and maybe it shows a little confidence building on these passes, these short passes right now for Kinsey as well, who's really gotten into the rhythm, and we've seen that passing game tighten up here for Stillwater.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to run it to run the clock, and they're probably not in a hurry to run the clock now. So seeing that passing, I think that's planning ahead, that's developing your players.
27-3, the Stillwater lead, and watch out, it's an interception here for the Royals. Kinsey's going to try and track him down. He will not, and it's going to be an interception return for a touchdown for Woodbury. And it's Adrian Heath who's going to come up with the interception pick six for the Royals to make this a 27-9 game.
Boy, and that, you watch this play develop here. He goes out, he slings it out to the flat, and Heath does a great job jumping in front of Connor McGlynn, takes it down the field, and I mean, the only good news is that does not end your game. If that happens in the first half, when it's 10-3, you start worrying about it. Luckily, they have control of the game. Now they're going to have to adjust from that, learn from it, and not repeat it.
Royals going to take a timeout here before this extra point. That is Adrian Heath, the junior, who comes up with the interception return for a touchdown. Kinsey only had 4 interceptions all of last season. That's his first of that's his first of this season currently, and last week had just the 27 passing yards through the air, and that's just a missed read that Heath was all on top of, and a big moment for the junior Adrian Heath on the pick six to make this a 27-9 game.
Well, I mean, that's, as far as what Woodbury goes, that's the kind of momentum shift that they needed. That's the kind of turnover that they needed to have happen to get themselves in this game. It really felt like they couldn't do anything, but clearly they can score if Kinsey helps them.
Now Kinsey is tracing down, trying to track down Adrian Heath on that interception return for the touchdown. So a timeout taken there by Woodbury before this extra point. Looks like it may be a 2-point situation as it's in on the Wildcat. This is going to be the tailback on the snap, an offensive movement before that snap could get back to Mark Mathis. And that's going to back up this conversion try, and it may lead to just a single extra point try now here for the Royals.
Boy, you know, there's just a lot of stuff that Woodbury just has to kind of want to clean up. They've had the delay of games multiple times. They've used timeouts at times that I'm a little confused by, to be honest. I understand them taking the timeout there, saying, "Wait, let's get 2.
Yep.
Let's get it. We need points." And it looks like they're going to stick with running it.
Going to try and stick out there for the 2. It's going to force Stuggerud to have to make a throw and just can't connect with his receiver to his left. Incomplete. So the Pony defense able to stop the 2-point conversion try. But nonetheless, the interception return.
Fortune. No fortune on that one, unfortunately. And 27-9 it is.
Ponies will get the football right back if there's anything to take out of a turnover taken back for the score. That is the second turnover here tonight for Stillwater. Had that fumble all the way back in the first half.
Yeah, so really I think the turnovers, we have 2-2 because we have 2 4th-down conversions that Woodbury hasn't converted on. So turnovers are even, and the score is not.
No, and probably the best thing off a touchdown turnover like that is for get your quarterback out there, get the confidence back into him, and just try and start connecting on some passes. But you give the Ponies credit. We've said it a few times. They've had this big lead, and they've stuck with being aggressive, throwing the football late in this game here against Woodbury. And right there, the Woodbury defense, who, as we've talked about, they've struggled to find anything on offense or on defense here tonight, slowing down these Ponies. They get their moment and come up with the takeaway for the score.
Yeah, and you see what we just saw. I saw something just now that I think is really great to see. Kinsey goes down the line, high fives the players, saying, my bad, that's on me. Owning it like that is impressive. And look who else is impressive.
Yeah, nothing the special teams of Woodbury could do to stop Rosario Matias. A good bit of positive energy right back on that kickoff return. He just explodes up that far side of the field and right toward midfield to start with this opening drive after the interception. Return for a touchdown for this Pony offense. Right at midfield, Rosario Matias showing that athleticism on the return. So first touchdown of the night for the Royals comes from this defense. And after the interception, Nick Kinsey back out under center. Like you said, showing some leadership. High fives up and down this offensive roster for Stillwater. And on a first down and 10, it's right back up the middle for a carry down to the 45. About a 5-yard carry to open up this drive. And maybe now, Don, we see a little bit more of trusting Rosario Matias in this backfield to keep this clock running here in the fourth.
Yeah, I don't know if their trust is the question word. I think it's they're trying to develop, but I think mixing it up, I think, is a good idea when you have someone as talented as Rosario Matias.
Here he is on a 2nd and 5. He's so good around the edge like that. It's always never the first point of contact. He always finds yards after that initial contact. Not many there, but he's done that all night long for Stillwater.
Yeah, he's got the stiff arm out, and someone actually tackled him by the ankles, which is not easy to do.
Appeared to be maybe just a tad shaken up after that last tackle. Just going to see him on the sideline there, just kind of bending over a little bit. He has had a physical game here tonight for the Ponies. It's going to be a 3rd down and 3 here with 9:48 to go in this fourth quarter out of the backfield. This is a carry upfield. That's Chase Edstrom, the junior, who tried to work it down to the 41. He's going to be shy of the first down marker here. Will lead to a 4th and 1 for this Pony offense to have a decision over. But good to see Chase Edstrom, the junior, get a carry here for this Pony offense with Matias back out on the field and a 4th and 1 upcoming.
Had a nice burst, but ran into the Woodbury player and got sent backwards.
Just need to get it across the 40 here for a Pony first down, and no surprise, Bo Labor's aggressive offense staying out here for the 4th down conversion as Kinsey leaves it off to Rosario Matias, and this is going to be a stop for the Royals defense. It's been so good around the edges, but that time a pair of Woodbury defenders able to come up with a stop, and it's going to be a turnover on downs here to the Stillwater offense, and the football coming right back to Woodbury.
Not a lot of time clicked off the clock. We're at 8:56, so 2 minutes used by that Stillwater offense.
Senior John Worth, first one in for the Royals, who will start this drive from their own 41. So can this offense kind of continue what's been some momentum here now, still with lots of room, not a lot of room to work with in this fourth quarter, and it's a good run here for Mark Mathis, who's going to carry some Ponies across midfield down to the 49. About an 11-yard pickup for Mark Mathis, who has not had much out of the backfield tonight. He's got a good run there for a first down.
Yeah,
and you got to think the Royals are going to want to work quickly here.
Yeah, they got to work. They got a lot of points to gain on the field, and that 2-point conversion not succeeding actually, it makes it harder for them, but they've turned this game around in the moment. Can they capitalize on it?
8:28 to go here. First down on the opening play of this drive for the Royals. Another handoff right up the middle. More pushing and shoving. Some physical running down to the 39 is going to be about an 8-yard gain right to the 40 on that handoff and push upfield. That time, Brandon Fortune on the carry for Woodbury. Going to bring us to a 2nd down and 3 here for Stillwater. Trip to White Bear Lake a week away from now for the Royals. That one in and out of the hands of an open Mark Mathis on a screen. Had some blockers there. Incomplete's going to lead it to a 3rd down and 3.
Love to see Karkula jumping on the ball there just in case. Was a forward pass, but hey, always a good idea to be aware. Love a smart defender, so great play by Karkula there to be ready. And boy, this is pretty big 3rd and 3 here, though it's probably 4-down territory for Woodbury.
Definitely. But you've just kind of gotten the sense that the Royals have just found a bit of a spark of momentum and life here in this 4th quarter. Still with work to do on the scoreboard as Snuggerud under pressure on 3rd down, lobs it downfield, and it was nearly intercepted. Oh, DK Gora right on that far sideline nearly had that one in his hands for the Ponies, and it'll lead to a 4th and short. That's the kind of ball that defensive backs think about in their sleep when they get an opportunity for a takeaway like that.
Oh my gosh, what a great opportunity, right? We'd love to put an end to the Woodbury resurgence right there, but Gora couldn't hold on to it, forcing a very interesting 4th and 3 here.
This Ponies front has gotten pressure to Snuggerud. It's really disrupted what the Royals have been trying to do on offensive night, and they are looking to do it here on a 4th down. Mathis up the middle has a 1st down and more down the far sideline. Mark Mathis taken down to the 15, mark it to about the 14 on a big carry for 24 that time for the Royals, and a 1st down to keep this Woodbury drive alive.
Boy, I tell you, they wanted 3 yards and they got a whole lot more. Great run there by Mathis. Finally getting to get used in this game after kind of disappearing for a while.
Royals have all of a sudden put together a nice little drive here with 7:13 to go and still some time on the clock. They've got those 2 timeouts. Surprised to not see a little bit more of a tempo offense here from Woodbury. With a 1st down and 10 with Snuggerud looking to his left, looks downfield, caught, turning away from a tackler's, works to the goal line, and it's going to be a Woodbury touchdown. Dominic Eversteiner got away from one defender, and it's going to be a 14-yard passing touchdown here for the Royals to cut into this Pony lead with 6:54 to go.
Some 7-on-7 violence here as Riley Runk tries to come around and get that ball. Ebersteiner catches it and turns, is able to get into the end zone. Tackled finally by Karkula, but boy, ooh.
Extra point, maybe he had bobbled on the snap, and Stillwater's going to jump on it, so there's points being left on the board here with another extra point that is no good here for the Royals, so they only take the 6 on the passing touchdown for Woodbury. Emmett Snuggerud with his 3rd passing touchdown of the season, a 2nd touchdown catch for Eversteiner. And all of a sudden, Don, with 6:54 to go, it's still a 12-point lead here for the Ponies, but they're going to be looking to this offense now to put together a clock-draining drive here in the 4th.
Yeah, it's interesting. Woodbury's back in this game. They had to fight for it. It wasn't easy. They had to convert a 4th down, and they were able to right the ship after a terrible 3rd quarter. This 4th quarter is looking a lot better for them.
Well, 17-0 3rd quarter for the Ponies has all of a sudden turned to a 12-0 quarter for Woodbury to keep this a 12-point game here with 6:54 left in our 4th quarter of action. After the Ponies offense last time they had the football, they went for a turnover on downs. They did not pick up a 1st down even on that drive for Stillwater. 27-15. That game got interesting last year. Woodbury These two teams met. Woodbury had a lead into halftime. Stillwater turned it around in the second half, came all the way back in that game against Woodbury. And there's going to be an onside kick, and it's recovered by the Royals. And all of a sudden, Woodbury is right back in it here at Pony Stadium.
Boy, and everybody
take another look.
Just lit up.
They were set up for it, took a big bounce. It went off the fingertips of a Pony, and Ethan Hauser collects it for Woodbury. And an onside gives the Royals the ball back here, starting a new drive from the Stillwater 47.
Chase Edstrom tried to catch that on that awkward bounce, but well-executed play by Woodbury, and boy, maybe that's why they're not in such a rush, because they had that in mind.
My goodness. And the positioning was really solid there from Chase Edstrom, who saw that ball tip off of his fingertips. And Woodbury with nothing on that first play to open this new drive. How about that? An onside kick for the Royals. Keep the football with this offense. Second down, Snuggerud to his right, caught, turning upfield. It's going to be held up shy of the 40. Nice response from this Pony defense.
Well, on that defense, they're trying to do the same thing Woodbury. You've got a player trying to jump that route. Snuggerud's got to be real careful not to give up a pick six, because Stillwater would love to get one.
Yeah, their passing coverage has been really strong over Snuggerud in this one here tonight. They are facing a 3rd and 5 here, trailing by 12. 5:45 to go in this fourth quarter. This Pony crowd trying to get behind this defense. Snuggerud on 3rd and 5, keeps it himself, has nowhere to go. He is swallowed up by the Stillwater D, and it's going to lead to a 4th down. You got to believe, of course, this Royals offense will stay out there for this 4th and 3.
Yeah, they're definitely staying out there, and Stillwater has to like it when they decide to run the quarterback. I'd be much more worried about Mathis coming at me.
That onside kick has gotten the Royals the ball back, but on their opening set of downs here, they're now facing a 4th and 3 down to the Stillwater 40-yard line. This is Snuggerud with it with 3 wide receivers. Snuggerud on 4th down to his left. It's incomplete. Trying to find the hands of his receiver there, Sean Rakowski, and it's out of the reach, and it ends up just leading to a turnover on downs. And a huge pause in momentum there for the Royals, and the Pony defense holds strong for a 3 and out, make it a 4 and out after the onside kick.
Yeah, that's the 3rd, 4th down conversion that hasn't been converted. I think at that point Woodbury has to be a little frustrated. They're not giving up in this game, though, so with 5 minutes left, just under 5 minutes left, Stillwater needs to eat some of this clock, maybe drive down and get a score.
Well, you just think about the momentum. An onside kick gives your team, you're looking for your offense, force a couple of plays. The Ponies defense had other thoughts, couldn't connect on a pass, and it's a toss to Rosario Matias on 1st down. He's got nowhere to go. A nice effort from this Woodbury defense to come up with the stop. But that just is your moment in this game, Don, for the Royals. Here on the road, you find your way back in this game. You get that onside kick. And you do have to give credit to Stillwater's defense at holding strong in a big moment like that in this game.
Boy, I tell you, it's pretty crazy to think about it. Stillwater's up 27-14, 27-15. They've got a great game. They're at the 40 again. They're getting the ball in between the 40s on just about every single drive. And to be in a game this close has to be a little frustrating.
Field position battle has really favored the Ponies here tonight. Here's Kinsey out wide, caught. This is Edstrom, who's hit hard but lunges forward some important yards up to about the 46 as we approach the 4-minute mark of this fourth quarter. Still a 2-possession game. Boy, think about the missed points on the conversion opportunities Woodbury's had on the scores. He had the missed 2-point try on the penalty, the missed extra point.
Yeah, if they just take the 2 extra points, it's a 10-point game.
Absolutely. Would change things here certainly down by 12. You're looking at 2 touchdowns. Right now, Ponies offense got to find a first down here with a 3rd and 4. 3:30 to go here in the 4th. 2 behind of Kinsey. Hands it off. Rosario Matias battling through all of the traffic and explodes ahead for a huge first down. Down to the 40 and keeping this clock moving to the 41. Up for the big gain and a huge first down for Stillwater.
Really nice burst of speed there. Good job staying consistent. Running the offensive line is still powering. You can see them moving forward. And 3 minutes left. It's looking pretty good for Stillwater. Keep the ball, keep running, keep the momentum away from Woodbury.
This Ponies defense has done a lot of good work here tonight, but this offense right now, they're just happy to let this clock keep running. And before the clock runs out, boy, that was bizarre. The official signaled for a timeout.
Coach saying that wasn't me.
Labor is saying otherwise. So what do they want to do here?
Do we get inadvertent whistles in football too? I know they happen in basketball.
That was very strange. I can't imagine they would restart.
The Woodbury coach is on the number 4.
They would restart the play clock, yeah, because he's going to be upset that no matter whether they called that timeout or not, it still stopped the clock here. Boy, the line judge just wanted to blow the whistle right away. And the clock will, I think, will stay stopped here at 2:43 until Ponies snap the football here. And they do a toss out wide to Rosario Matias on
fighting.
1st and 10 and just grinding his way for key yards here late in this 4th quarter. As this clock will continue to run. Ponies with the football. It just might be out of reach here for this Woodbury side.
I'm wondering if the clock's going to get reset or if anything's going to happen. I saw the referee point to his watch.
I think they just held the clock and reset it. Doesn't appear a timeout came off the board for Stillwater. Only 2 timeouts for Andy Hill and his Woodbury side to manage with here. On a 2nd down, another carry. Rosario Matias again lunging for that 35 marker. And now with a 3rd down upcoming, this is going to be a Woodbury Royal timeout to stop our clock with 1:52 to go. How about this scenario, Don? You had the onside kick successfully twice. If the Royals were able to get the ball back here and put some points on the board, you're thinking touchdown, of course, with a 12-point deficit, but not fully out of the picture for the Royals to feel like their special teams couldn't come up with something creative once again to try and get the ball back, but still would be lots of work to do, and you have to get another stop here on this 3rd down.
Yeah, at this point, I think Stillwater just wants to run that clock out. They don't need to score any more points if they can run that clock out, and Woodbury's got one more timeout left. And, man, I tell you, for a 27-15 game, it doesn't feel like we watched a 27-15 game. Woodbury is in this game, even though they probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, you got to give the Royals some credit here. We're going to have to deal with this 3rd and 5 here with 1:52 to go. Kinsey changing things up. There's all sorts of movement on that Stillwater line. Going to get the snap away, hand it off, bounce outside. Some space to work with across the 30 and to the inside of the 20. And a huge first down on that 3rd down to bring a new set of downs for the Ponies. And
watch this replay. I love this because he gets there, he finds some space. He stops to go inbounds and gets pushed out of bounds. He tried to squat down inbounds because he knows he wants to run the clock. I love smart football players.
That certainly was one of those types of moments with 1:46 to go in this 4th quarter. Actually, they might say he did end up out of bounds. That clock didn't continue to run. Nonetheless,
they pushed him out.
The first out, right, that exactly. The first downs.
But he tried to stay inbounds, which is a great, smart play.
Right up the middle. Not much on the movement upfield to Chase Edstrom. But this clock is going to continue to run with just the one timeout. Might just about do it here for the Ponies tonight in their home opener game for the 2024 season at Pony Stadium. Kind of an interesting back and forth game we've had here tonight. Some moments for these two teams that they'll take some positives away from this one here tonight. Final 60 seconds approaching in a 2nd and 9. And another Rosario Mateus keep carrying his workload here tonight, Don. You could argue just as important as any other aspect of this game that's right now going to lead Stillwater to their first win of the year.
Yeah, I think that, you look at that, he's the MVP. On defense, no one stood out because I think they played so well as a unit. You saw so many batted balls, so many denies happening. I don't think there was anyone on defense, but on offense, number 6, circle him.
Final 27 seconds ticking away, and the quarterback, Nick Kinsey, ends up with a touchdown pass here tonight. Rosario Mateus just piling up the yards, continues to do so, and will add on a 3rd touchdown run here tonight for Stillwater and ice this first win of the 2024 season. And a touchdown run for Rosario Mateus, his 3rd of the ball game.
And I almost expected him to drop down at the 1-yard line to run the game out, but I don't blame him for wanting to score.
Certainly your adrenaline looking upfield, seeing that wide open end zone, kicks into gear, and Landon Hubers had a nice night here tonight for the Ponies as well. Knocks through another extra point for Stillwater, and once again, right from a 16-yard touchdown run, his 3rd of the night for Emilio Rosario Mateus. What a game, and the yards continued to pile up. And right as we were noting the kind of game he has had tonight, touchdown runs of 16, 20, and all the way back in that first quarter, had the 26-yard touchdown run.
And a 39-yarder that was nullified.
Absolutely. That's a great point.
I mean, none of those came after that, right? That drive ended up not going. But, man, what a great game. And, I mean, now the scoreboard kind of reflects the game we saw. This feels like a 34-15 game.
Absolutely.
But Woodbury, probably made some people nervous because they were leaving the door open. Stillwater left the door open by not capitalizing on all their opportunities. Great field position the entire night.
Boy, that onside kick was a moment you'd look back and offense went 3 and out, ended up turnover on down. So Woodbury's going to get the ball here. It's not going to be enough time with just 11 seconds to go in the 34-15 lead for these Ponies behind a 3-touchdown night here tonight for Rosario Mateus, and this Pony defense walking out on the field. They've got plenty they're going to be happy about walking away from this one here tonight at Pony Stadium.
Yeah, I think you look at last week and rebounding from it. They've still got room to grow, too. I think they played a really great game, but I think you still want to see more execution out of your quarterback and run and wide receivers, so I think there's still room for growth, and yet you had a great night.
Going to be the final play here for the Ponies. They'll keep it on the ground. A short run, or for the Royals, I should say, upfield for Woodbury. And we'll get a stoppage here just
They're using their final timeout
with 5 seconds. Not sure what the signal was for. And they actually had a face mask penalty to the Pony defense. So that's going to move the ball upfield here with a late flag on the field.
Does that invite a Hail Mary type of thing? Or
it
puts Woodbury in a decent field position.
We've seen about everything here in this game tonight, Don. That would be the cherry on top if we saw something like that in this kind of a situation of this ball game. It would be hard to imagine Woodbury would do just that, but One final play. Got to give the Royals some credit. Found their way back into this game in this second half.
Yeah, they got 3 wide. Shotgun.
Likely the final play here for the Royals. Snuggerud looks to his right, fires it incomplete, and the clock hits 0, and it's the Stillwater Ponies and their home opener tonight of the 2024 season. Bounce back from a Week 1 loss, and they win this one tonight over Woodbury by a final score. Stillwater 34, Woodbury 15. And the Ponies go into the win column for the 2024 season. Rosario Matias, 3 touchdown runs here tonight, leading the offense. The defense forcing all kind of trouble for Woodbury all night long. The Royals will fall to 1-1 after this Week 2 loss. And that guy right there, Nick Kinsey, had the 1 interception, but did the job tonight for this offense between Kinsey and Rosario Matias, who are over to celebrate with their fans a win here in Week 2.
Yeah, really solid game. Lots left on the field. Some points left on the field by Woodbury. Interesting to see how they bounce back from this game. It's early in the season. There's still a lot of growth to happen.
These two teams look ahead to some tough schedules in the upcoming weeks. But right now, it's celebration time for the Ponies, who pick up a Week 2 win here tonight at home at Pony Stadium. A 34-15 win for the Ponies here over the Royals at Pony Stadium. Big performances all up and down the Stillwater lineups here tonight. It's led to a win. A week ahead for the Ponies. They'll travel to Eastridge next week to take on the Raptors here in the East Metro. Stillwater, they get the job done here tonight for Hans Bristol. And alongside with me here tonight, Don Ackerman and our entire VAC-TV sports crew. Great job to all of them here tonight as usual. We'll say goodnight here from Pony Stadium. Our final score, Stillwater 34, Woodbury 15. The Ponies get the win here in Week 2. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next time for more Pony Sports right here on VAC-TV.